Alright, today let's talk 7 segment displays, otherwise known as SSD. Well, that's the abbreviation for them. 7 segment displays. Let's get rocking. Alright, your 7 segment displays are everywhere on clocks, watches, they're on your calculator, they're on scoreboards, they're everywhere. And there's 2 types we're going to talk about, and that's anode and cathode. Alright, and how do we identify the segments in a 7 segment display? Real simple, through letters. And if you can actually see right here, you have 7 of them: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's as simple as that. Alright, if you have a decimal place, if your 7 segment display has a decimal place, it'll probably be labeled as DP. And that is the basic identification of a 7 segment display. That's what you need to understand. That's really it. Now, we do have cathode and anode displays, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But really, the gist of or the whole thing is understanding the segments, and that's it. Let's move on. Okay, I'm not going to cover this too much. You know, on a 7 segment display, we can obviously cover the decimal numbers 0 through 9. There are some alpha characters that you can hit on. Some are missing, but you can do simple messages. And I'm sure growing up in middle school or in elementary, you had a calculator, and you would write the word hello. And you would always put that O on there because you're good kids. Hello. Okay, so a 7 segment display, all they are, or all it's made up of LEDs. And an LED has 2 sides, as you know. It has a positive side, which is an anode, and has a negative side, which is the cathode. Okay? You know that an LED has an anode and a cathode side. And I probably have already explained this analogy to you, but I'm going to give it to you again. It's disgusting and completely inappropriate for school, but it's perfect. People who go to the hospital, and they're in a hospital bed for a very long time. And let's say that they're not very mobile because they've had surgery and they can't get out of bed. Well, you know that every day you need to go to the bathroom. Well, how do you think people go to the bathroom when they're in a hospital bed? Okay? Well, they have things called catheters. And they insert this catheter into your body and allows you to go to the bathroom. Now, imagine a catheter being inserted into your body. That is a completely uncomfortable thing. Alright, that is a bad thing. That is a negative thing. Cathode, negative. Catheter, negative. Terrible. That's how you can remember that. Alright, completely inappropriate. Let's move on. Alright, I'm going to quickly talk about the anode. Well, let's do this. You're going to need a resistor, okay? And your most common resistor is going to be 220 ohm resistor. That's what you're going to use, okay? You want your display brighter, use a less or a smaller resistor. You want your display to be dimmer, use a stronger resistor. Simple as that. I'll explain anode and cathode a little bit more coming up here. Alright, this is the best way I know how to do this. Anode, we said, means positive. Okay, so in this common anode display, I know it's common anode because it says CA up there in the corner. Okay, so I'm going to hook up my display to 5 volts. Alright, now in order to complete a circuit, you need both, the circuit has to run from ground to a battery, right? So it has to go in a circle, correct? Correct. So it has to complete the circuit. Well, since we already have a positive side, we need to add in the negative side. Well, when we add in the ground, it completes the circuit and it will illuminate the display. So on a common anode display, you would hook up the segments that you want to illuminate, you hook those up to ground. Here's what I mean. Here's ground here. You can see that segment B is grounded, so is segment D, not E, not F, no, I'm sorry, B, C, not D, not E, but F and G. Alright, so let's see what this might look like. This is B, this is C, this is F, and that's G. So it should look like a 4. We'll see if I'm right. And of course I'm right. There you go. Alright, once again we'll look at it. These guys are grounded, which is B, C, F, and G. They're grounded. There's your 5 volts. The circuit is now complete, and that's why those guys are illuminated and these other segments are not. Okay, so we just did an anode. Let's look at a... Alright, in a cathode now, I know it's a cathode because it shows CK right there. Alright, that is abbreviation for a common cathode 7-segment display. Alrighty, you can see here that CK is hooked up to the ground. So in order to complete the circuit, I need to add in some power. Alright, well in this example, segments A, B, D, E, and G are all powered up. So let's see what this looks like. A, B, not C, D, E, not F, G. Let's make that look a little bit better. Alright, and that should be a 2. Let's see if I'm right. Of course I'm right. Again, common cathode, they're grounded, so 5 volts is needed to complete the circuit. A, B, D, E, G. And there you have it. Okay, once again, resistor values, I'm just going to tell you this. On your breadboards, it's a digital breadboard, and your LEDs are actually built in, your 7-segment displays are actually built into the board. So the manufacturers of the board already added in the appropriate resistors. Okay. Now we do have single 7-segment displays that are not on a breadboard, so you could use those. If you were, you would want to use about a 220 resistor. Okay, and that's pretty common. I am not going to review anything of circuit theory. If you need to look back at it, go back to previous presentations. We are done.